The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Enough of that. We're going to do this is emergency procedures. Emergency procedures taking place here, guys. We're going to do a spontaneous Periscope Love Bomb, okay? It's going to happen now. So you'll be watching me on Periscope on 360, where you can kind of spin around and pan around. Good for you. But someone has just tweeted me that someone is doing something amazing on Periscope right now. Good evening, this is Iain Lee, the Late Night Alternative Talk Radio. So, what I want you to do is, I want you to go to, find, on Periscope, at Gilly Bean Music. And the Gilly is spelt with a G. Do it now, guys. Let me just go on Periscope. Love bomb her now at Gilly Bean Music. This is what's happening. We're going to go. I can't do it because of the phone. Thank you, Kat. Just put them down there. Lovely, lovely. She is. Oh, hang on a minute.
They're very.
Hang on a minute. That's me. There we go. This is it. At Gilly Bean Music. Go and find her. Right. She's. Everyone, just send her love. Send her love. Hearts. Let's get it up to 100. She got 28 viewers now. She had 14 a minute ago. Let's get her up to 100 views, can we? At Gilly Bean Music is where you need to go. If you're watching me, switch me off. Forget that rubbish. At Gilly Bean Music. Gilly. Bean. Bean. Music. We're up to 40. Let's get her up to 100. This is her playing the piano. She's taking requests. You request a song, she will play it for you. We're up to 49. We're up to 53. Come on, get it up to 100, guys. Let's make this... She's on Periscope. She was playing to an audience of 14, taking requests. Sweet Caroline, she's playing now by Neil Diamond. She's taking requests, guys. We're up to 78. Come on, let's get it up to 100. If you're watching me, stop watching me. Go and find this woman at Gilly Bean Music. She's on 85. She's just playing songs for people. She's just playing songs for people. 87, come on. Get it up to 100. 90, come on, 10 more. 94, come on, we can make 100. 96, 95. Keep going up, we're going down. Go up, go and follow her on Periscope. 99, 95. Yes, come on, 100, we did it, yes. Look at that, it's just a lovely lady at home playing musical requests on Periscope. If I had the talent, dear God, that's what I'd be doing. That's what I'd be doing. She's at 110. Keep giving her the hearts.
So are you.
Yes! I'll never dance with another. Woo! Since I saw her standing there. Heart went boom when I crossed that room, and I held her hand in my ear. Oh! Well, we danced through the night, and we held each other tight, and before too long I fell in love with her. I'll never dance with another. 135! Guys, send her love. This is the whole show. This is the whole show. Forget what we had planned. Forget it. If you've just tuned in, we're doing a spontaneous Periscope Love Bomb. It's where we go and find someone who's not got many viewers.
No. Oh my goodness.
And we just go and send them love. She had 14 5 minutes ago. Now she's on 137. It's at Gilly Bean Music. GILLYBEAN Music. Wouldn't it be great if we could get it up to 200, guys? Come on. There are 75 people watching me on Periscope. Forget me. I know it's in 360. Go and find out Gilly Bean Music and give her the hearts. It's a nice thing to do. Yes! She's an unstoppable music machine. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Oh!
We had a David Bowie one come up as well.
Here comes David Bowie, yes! Why not, Gilly? Why not? 140 people watching her. Tell her that she's on Talk Radio. Give her the phone number if she wants to call in. She's welcome to, Gilly, on a day when nothing has happened. It's been a boring, miserable day. And we're getting you playing a bit of David Bowie. I don't really know David Bowie, so I can't sing along with it as... Keep going, guys. We're going to do it for another 5 minutes, and we're going to go and carry on with the show. Another 4 minutes at Gilly Bean Music, guys.
You like mushy peas? I don't.
She doesn't like the mushy peas. What the hell is wrong with her? It doesn't matter. We don't live in North Korea. You're free to choose the vegetables and the texture of the vegetables as you see fit. She's incredible. Look. She's incredible.
I can't call him at the same time. I have to play the piano.
She's got to play the piano. She can't call me, she's saying. She's responding to people messaging her, saying, call Iain Lee. She says, I can't. I'm playing the piano. God, she's good. This is it. Forget... do you know what? All I've got are some crappy stories from the newspaper. Why would anyone want that? Why would you want to hear about Bradley Walsh being the new Doctor Who assistant? Why would that be a good topic?
Exactly. I've only got the phone I'm playing on, you know? And I'm not...
Don't play Stairway to Heaven! I've never heard it! I can't listen to it! This is the only bit I know. Isn't it? Isn't it, though? A Periscope Love Bomb at the start of the show. We haven't done one for ages. We don't do them very often, but when we do them, guys, we do them in style. Thank you, whoever pointed me towards Gilly Bean music. Keep sending those hearts. She's getting into playing that piano, isn't she good? Isn't she good?
After I've finished, okay?
She might call. We might get a call from Gilly Bean. She's gonna call. This is nice, isn't it? Isn't it nice? It's lovely. What start to the show? What start to the show? It is good. You're right.
I know, too many people have been saying it.
Tell her that I love her and I think she's absolutely fabulous. I can't because I can't message when I'm on the... I can't message on the computer. Hang on a minute. Maybe I can. Hang on. Can I? Hang on. Let me see. I wonder, this might knacker everything if I do this. Hang on. No, I can't. I can't message her. Gilly?
Can you cut this bit short because it's quite long?
It is quite long, Stairway to Heaven, and I've never heard it, but it sounds as tedious as I'd imagine.
Yes, I know some Radiohead, and I've also had a request.
Gilly, thank you very much. You've been brilliant. If she wants to call in, we might speak to her later on. She's good. She's good. I mean, her neighbours must be furious. I don't know the bloody words. It's a song about a massacre in a school, so jolly tune, but sad lyrics. Gilly, may God bless you, each and every one of you. We will crack on with the show, dear listener. 03444991000. What a lovely way to start the show. This is the Late Night Alternative. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Closing time conversation for tax inspectors, taxi drivers, and taxidermists. Great big talk for the wee small hours.
You've been trolling me big time, mate.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
There we go. That's it. That was a start to the show, wasn't it? We weren't expecting that. So whoever it was who just tweeted me that, thank you very much. She was good. She might phone in. She might not. It doesn't matter. But she went for... We do that occasionally, a Periscope Love Bomb. And where we find someone who's not got many viewers, normally it's 1 or 0, and we go and love bomb them. We basically just go and send nice messages, and most of them are called in. Here's the thing, don't do it with Americans, because they throw that M-word around. Oi, 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 oi. But that was absolutely delightful. That was at Gilly Bean Music. If you want to follow her, you can. If you're watching on Periscope, or on my Facebook page, facebook.com/IAINLEE. Tonight, for the first hour, probably only, because it drains my battery. And it's not a euphemism. It does drain the battery. We are streaming the show in 360 degrees. What that means is, if you're watching on your phone now, you can just move it around and you can look up and look all around and do all of that. And if you're on a computer, there's nothing to see. There's just me, and you Cass and Sam through there. There's nothing to see, really, but these things happen. 0344 499-1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, you're more than welcome to. This is the late night alternative, and unlike any other radio show that's on at the moment. Oh, call her back. Gilly's coming on. Call her back. Unlike other radio shows, we don't, this is what we're going to talk about for the first hour, this is what we're going to talk about for the second hour. We kind of play it by ear. And literally, as I was setting up my computer, I saw that tweet of Gilly. And someone said, you should watch this. And I'm glad I did, because she was flipping excellent. Taking requests on Periscope, and just for the sake of playing music for strangers. I think Gilly's on the line. Good evening, Gilly.
Hello.
Oh, bravo.
It's all a bit surreal at the moment to me.
Bravo.
Shall I keep playing, or shall I just talk to you?
Well, are you still on Periscope now?
Yes, I'm still on Periscope.
Just talk to me.
I'm on Periscope and talking to you at the same time.
Talk to me for a second if you don't. You can play in the background if you can talk and play at the same time.
Yeah.
We think you're absolutely brilliant.
Oh, thank you so much.
How long have you been doing this for, taking requests on Periscope?
I've been on here for nearly 2 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And how many people do you normally get?
We usually get about 2,000 a broadcast around that. There was 4,000 the other day.
Flippin' heck. That's fantastic. And people from all over the world, I guess.
Yes, they are. And I have regular followers, and they're wonderful.
I'm going to ask you a question that probably doesn't really have an answer. Why? Why do you do it?
Why do I do it? Because it's nice to spread some happiness in the world and bring some music to people that maybe don't have access to music for various reasons, or they're having a moment in their day where they could just do with cheering up a little bit.
Yeah, I'll buy that. That works for me. That's a lovely idea, and that's kind of why we decided to sort of come and watch you on Periscope and listen to you for a little bit, because it just seemed like you were doing a nice thing. What is the most requested song that you get?
Elton John, your song is up there.
Oh,
no
dear.
surprises, really, but you know how it goes. It's a piano song, so people go, "Oh, Elton John." Yes.
Yes.
And Titanic is one that comes up again and again and again and again as well.
Oh, the old Celine Dion.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever get songs? Well, there must be songs that you can't do. You can't know every song in the world, Gilly.
No one knows everything.
No.
But, you just sort of go with what comes through. And if I know them, I play them. And if I don't, well, obviously I don't play them. But sometimes I'll go and check them out and see if I can learn them as well, you know.
What you're doing is absolutely... Have you been playing piano since you were a kid?
Yeah, I've been playing since I was 5 years old. And I've got a repertoire of around 10,000 songs.
Oh, wow.
I'm partially deaf,
Right.
and it's never got in my way. It's just an amazing thing. I'm so grateful to be able to do what I do.
Yeah. And do you play gigs? Do you go and do shows and concerts and things?
I don't do shows and concerts yet, but watch this space after this. You never know what might happen.
Oh, do it, man, because you're brilliant. You're absolutely brilliant. Gilly, at Gilly Bean Music, if people want to come and follow you on Periscope, if you got anything you want to plug, is there a website or anything else?
The website, gillybeanmusic.org, and obviously I'm on Periscope, and you know, just go and follow those things. I'm on Twitter with the same handle as well.
Brilliant.
And that's about all I can say. I'd love to come on your show and do this live sometime.
Come in. Whereabouts are you? Roughly whereabouts are you based? Are you in London?
I'm in London.
Oh, Gilly. Right. In that case, I'm going to tweet you, and we'll sort it out. Come in one night. It'd be brilliant.
Fantastic. That would be wonderful. Thank you so much, Iain.
Oh, no, listen, thank you for, doing stuff, giving out music for free. It's a lovely, lovely thing to do, so thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Gilly, we'll meet soon. We'll have you in the studio soon.
Okay, I'm going to get back to playing the piano now.
Go and play.
Thank you very much. All right.
Cheers, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
There we go. What a nice lady. There we go. We got a guest sorted. Wasn't that lovely? Wasn't that absolutely lovely? She's going to come in. She's going to come in. I shall tweet her during the next advert. She's going to come in and play. That'd be good. Hey, wouldn't it? 03. We were supposed to... Here's bands we were supposed to be getting in. We were supposed to be getting in a skiffle group. I think that might still be happening. I need to sort that out. We were supposed to be getting in like a Beatles tribute band, and it kept getting put back. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. The PR woman said, when they come in, do you want them to be dressed up as the Beatles? Why would you even ask that question? If that's an option, then the answer is yes. Of course I want them. No, I just want them to come in looking like normal blokes. Of course I want them to come in dressed as the Beatles, but I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, a bit of live music in the studio. Don't all now send me links saying I'm in a band. Here's my Bandcamp and SoundCloud and can we come in? No. For goodness sakes, there are too many bands in the world. Is my philosophy on life. Right. So should we start the show now? I don't really know how to. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give me a call, you'd be very, very welcome to. You can call in about absolutely anything you want. It's not one of those shows where we go, right, for the first hour, we're going to talk about Islamic terrorism in Europe. And then for the second hour, we're going to talk about money being raised for the NHS and then them turn it down. Then for the third hour, for a little bit of light relief, we'll talk about women-only carriages. Don't work like that here. If you want to phone in about those things, you'd be very, very welcome to. Ideally, they've been done to death, right? Ideally, if you wanted to call in about something like that, you'd have kind of an unusual angle or a point that's been missed in the debate so far. We don't want the usual old tried and tested lines. I mean, phone-in radio today and last night was going nuts for the women-only trains. We're absolutely nuts for the blokes dressed up as nurses and raising £2,500 in the hospital not accepting it. I mean, there must have been at least, out of those two topics, there's got to have been at least 20 hours of radio across all this one as well, across all the networks. There must have been 20 hours of radio out of those two, let's be honest, quite dull topics. I mean, really? Women-only trains? Yeah, I think they're a good idea. No, I don't think they're a good idea. Okay, fine. Next. So, the way it works is I will stand here. I'm standing at the moment. That means when I'm standing, there's a certain energy in the room. There's a vibe. A vibe is being created. It's almost like, what do they call it? We don't call them Red Indians anymore. We call them Native Americans, although in our head we're saying Red Indian. The Native American Red Indian, rain dance. You know the rain dance to summon the rain? I'm kind of doing, a slowed down, stripped back, what MTV would have called in the 90s. I'm doing an unplugged version of the, if it was unplugged, how could they film it? In your face, MTV. 25 years later, I finally get to deliver the killer blow to the MTV Unplugged franchise. How did you film it? How did you record it? What's that Kurt Cobain singing into? It's not a dick. It's a microphone. And how is that powered? Oh, by semen. Okay, right, I see. So, what I'm saying is we haven't got any calls. So, my MTV Unplugged Native American Red Indian rain dance to summer phone calls hasn't worked. So, so what do we do? So, I tell you what I'm laughing at. It's not even a fun. I've just picked up the Daily Mail. I don't know. I shouldn't laugh at it. It's a picture of John Craven, and it says John Craven's despair over fly tipping epidemic. It just made me laugh. It just made me laugh. You can imagine John Craven at home, just sitting in his chair with a glass of scotch, just his head in his hands, and he's sobbing. And his wife says, "What's wrong, John? Why are you so despairing?" I says, "It's a fly tipping epidemic. I hate it. And he can't sleep and he has to go to the doctor and they put him on citalopram and stuff. All because of the fly tipping epidemic, which I'll be honest, I've not really seen much of. So, let us have a break. Let us reset. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. And then we're going to come in with gusto. This is Talk Radio.
After hours amusement for anarchists, air hostesses and jet-lagged Antipodeans.
G'day, coppers. Can I crash on your floor? The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Here's the fun thing, right? Now that we are entering a new age of Talk Radio, where we've got new trails from next week, The show's got a new name, the Late Night Alternative. From next week, we will have the facility. We're going to try it once, and if it doesn't work, we won't do it again. I think it will work, but we have the facility for a hashtag radio lock-in. We are now experiencing loads of new callers and loads of new voices, which means that, Andre?
No.
Try again tomorrow.
Yeah, okay.
There we go. So it means that we can now kind of, we got all the regular callers, and that's fantastic. Love every single regular caller, ex-BMP, not Andre. But it means that you might get told by Cass tonight, and it's Hayley tomorrow, and it'll be Kath next week, of course. You might get told, thank you very much. Try again tomorrow when you call in. If you've called in loads and loads, right, if you've called in a couple of times in a row, you might get a thanks very much. Try again tomorrow. And it doesn't mean that you're banned. It doesn't mean that you're blocked. It doesn't mean that you've said anything to offend me. It's just that I'm trying to get in loads of new voices, if at all possible. Saying that, we haven't got any phone calls. So, I tell you what I did today. Absolutely naffle. Did naffle. It was a real waste of a day. Real waste of a day. I woke up earlier than I hoped because I was bunged up. And then I took because I'm trying to lose weight. And if you're watching on Periscope, you can see that losing weight thing, it's not really working. It's not working. I have forsaken food, and I'm taking the dog for 2 long, but very quick, pacey walks a day, right? So that is what is happening. And I cannot lose a flipping pound of weight. It just will not go. It just won't go. So I did that today. But I, also watched, because I bought it on the DVD. I read a book by my mate Andrew Hickey about Doctor Who. And, so I'm kind of going through a bit of a Doctor Who trip at the moment, man. And I watched, some old Doctor Who today, Patrick Troughton, because it dawned on me, I think I've only watched one Patrick Troughton Doctor Who. Yes, because most of them, were wiped by the BBC, in your face BBC. So I watched it, The Tomb of the Cybermen. The Tomb of the Cybermen. Here's the thing. I'm halfway through it, right? So don't tell me what happens. I hope they escape. And I enjoyed it, and I like Patrick Troughton. I think he's very watchable. I like Fraser Hines as Jimmy. I'm Jimmy from Scotland, and I'm wearing a kilt. I'm Jimmy. I like him. If I'm honest, not a lot happened in it. There was not really any what you might call plot in it. It was, I'm enjoying it, and it's fun, but there's not really that much going on in it. Speaking of not much going on, by the way, 0344 499 1000, but I'm quite happy to do a monologue for the whole 3 hours. It's about time. In fact, we might do a show soon when, I just don't want anyone to call in. We might do that soon. We'll do that next week. Next Tuesday, I don't want anyone to phone in. There we go. That's that booked. Talking about films where nothing happens, I watched a very strange film on Netflix today that will not be for everyone. And it certainly will not be for the generation that sits there playing with their phones whilst watching a movie. That's me. That's what I was doing, and I kept missing loads of it. But it's on Netflix. It's called Entertainment, and it stars one of the people we had on the show last night. It stars Greg Turkington, who plays this character called Neil Hamburger, right? And it's a beautiful, beautiful film. The story, very loosely, if there is one, is a down-on-his-luck comedian who is travelling across country playing some very, very low-rent gigs, right? And it looks absolutely stunning, and it's a real there's a real tone to it. It's a real it's very stylized. And it is not really anything happens in it. Very little happens, and then there are a few spikes where some things happen. But I loved it. I absolutely loved it. There's not enough films, I think, where there's nothing really going on. Maybe that's the future. Films, TV shows, books, and radio shows where there's nothing going on. As I'm saying that out loud, I'm kind of wondering how I would incorporate that into this radio show. How would you do a radio show for 3 hours when nothing happens? I mean, it could be tonight. It could be tonight with the lack of phone calls flooding in to the studio. Someone has put their finger in the dike, and the phone calls are. Do you know what? No, we won't. No, we're fine. We're fine. We don't. No. There's a regular calling in then, and you know what? I almost went, yeah. Let's put them on, but then that would just be putting them on for filler. He can call in tomorrow. He's welcome to call in tomorrow. That would be putting them on for filler, and I don't want to do that. So part of me thinks we do a show where nothing happens. But then part of me thinks doing that so close to last Friday's show really might, our listening figures are on the up. So doing that really might send us in the negative trajectory. So let me think. 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 I'm just thinking what to do with the show, guys. Just having a little think-see to see where to take it. Do we, maybe doing nothing is a theme we can explore. Can we explore that this evening? Because it's been the theme of the day. All right, yes, this is what we're going to do. So, let's talk about doing nothing, shall we? Let's talk about doing nothing. Because in this Doctor Who episode I watched, nothing really happened. They found the tomb of the Cybermen and they just sort of stayed there, and the Cybermen have been reanimated, and nothing's really happened. This film entertainment, watch it on Netflix at your peril, right? I flipping loved it, but it was, if I'm honest, it was hard work. And sometimes the best bits of art can be quite hard work. And today, I just lay on the sofa and did nothing. Watched the telly, took the dog out. I dozed on the sofa. I haven't dozed. I've got children. I haven't dozed on the sofa for absolutely ages. And I did. And I woke up 45 minutes later and the dog was on me, and it was, all right, turn the telly on. I did nothing. And I'm trying to. You'll see me on Twitter. I work 6 days a week, sometimes 7, but generally 6 days a week with this show and the Virgin show on a Sunday. And on Twitter, I asked the other day, can someone give me a job on a Saturday? And I've got some Saturdays coming up with the Lights Out thing and the Rabbit Hole shows and all of that. But several people said to me, Ian, it's your day off. Just do nothing. Just do nothing. How do you do nothing? How do you do that? That's the hardest thing in the world. Doing stuff, right, is easy, man. Doing stuff is easy. Doing nothing, well, we're hedging towards a kind of Zen philosophy discussion here, which I think that at 10:38 on a Wednesday evening on a national radio station that's owned by the same people that own the Sun, I think it's a perfect place to do it, guys. I think it's the perfect place to do it. Tonight's show is no, not a celebration, because that's doing something. Tonight's show is nothing. It's about nothing. It's about doing nothing. It's about nothing. I can't say it any clearer than that. If you want to do something, you can phone in 0344 499 1000. If you don't, we'll just do nothing until 1 o'clock. How's about them apples? Adverts.
Dead of Night discourse for disco queens,
I'm related to Jedwood and Dolly Parton.
dairy farmers, and distant fathers.
Yeah, whatever.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee
Doing lots of things that we don't know about, we can't control.
on Talk Radio.
Yeah, it's great.
0344 499 1000. Somehow, some way, we're going to explore the concept of nothing, of doing nothing. How do you do nothing? I tried to do nothing today, and I found it very, very hard. You can call in about other stuff as well, but that'll be the theme. Good evening, Donna.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Donna.
Hiya. Thank you for taking my call. I'm a bit nervous. I'm a first-time caller.
You've never made a phone call before?
Well, occasionally.
Okay.
I need to. Right, but not you.
No.
Oh,
Nothing to be
radio
nervous
station.
about, but if it goes
Right.
wrong, then I'm afraid the Talk Radio Death Squad will come to your house.
Yes, well, I phoned because I felt a bit sorry for you because nobody was phoning in.
Oh, don't feel sorry for me. I appreciate it.
And then you were saying about doing nothing, and I wish I'd not phoned in then.
Oh, God. Why?
Because I could have been doing nothing instead.
Well, you could have been. Hey, listen, here's the thing. Let me just say very
go on.
quickly, and I appreciate you saying you felt sorry for me, but here's the thing. I do this show for free, right? When I get loads of phone calls, I'm doing it for free. The shows I get paid for are the ones where people don't call in. That's where I'm earning my money. So, but I appreciate your kind words.
No, but I started to I first came across you when you were doing this random thing in park. You know, the park thing where you were playing tag.
Oh, yeah. You that was the was that the first thing you listened to?
And yes, it's the first time, and I've stayed with you, and since then, and I cross stitch, and I listen to you in the background. That's about it.
Now, what is cross stitching? Is that where you write things with thread?
No, needlepoint, sort of. Tapestry.
Oh, okay, Carole King style.
So my exciting life is tapestry and listening to.
That is although you're doing something quite intricate and quite creative.
You're my background noise.
Well, I'm the background noise, but also is it like, sometimes when you go for a long drive and you sort of think, oh, I don't know what happened over the last 10 minutes. You sort of lose yourself. Is it the same when you're doing that? You kind of enter a state of being at one with the universe.
I've never reached that point yet, unfortunately. I'm working on it.
Okay, well, keep going. What are you making at the moment?
Yeah, well, but anyway, you're very good. I've not had a TV for 12 years.
Good for you.
I listen to radio, and you take me out of the loop of the news and the depressing stuff.
Good. That's what the alternative is all about, Donna, is getting away from that stuff.
You are my light relief.
Ooh! I'm always happy to bring light relief to anybody that may be listening.
Yes, you just talk about stuff, and it's just not,
Hello?
so intense.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Donna, I'm glad you called. Get on with your... Get back to your cross-stitch now!
I will. I'm doing a funny bit.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Bye.
There we go, nice lady. No, never feel. Oh God, don't feel sorry for me if I'm getting no calls. Those are the shows where I get paid. When I've got loads of calls, which we have now, by the way. I do those for free. The ones when people don't call in, or it's that. Oh, those are the ones that I earn that pay me. We've got loads of calls and loads of names I don't recognise. Let's try Xander. Hello, Xander.
Hello.
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 Yes.
I don't really know what to say. First time caller. Been listening for about 2 years.
Hey, nice one, man. Thank you.
So I used to listen to Chris Moyles.
Oh yeah.
And then I followed him over to Radio X.
Radio X.
And then on the weekends I heard John Holmes.
Yeah.
I love John Holmes.
He's good, isn't he?
And then I followed him over to Talk Radio. And then I discovered you, and since then I've not looked back.
Oh, nice one, man. Well, thank you. John is, for those who don't know, John Holmes is on every weekday between 1 and 4, isn't he? And he's brilliant. He's
You and him are brilliant. You're the best on Talk Radio.
Who's the best? Who's the best out of me and John, Xander? Be honest.
Oh, I've got to say, like, I followed him first.
Wowzers.
He was first.
Wowzers.
You're definitely better.
Hey, Donald, where's your trousers? Yes.
And I listened to you in my van, and I was like, "What the hell is this? The hell is it?
Well,
I can't even understand."
I don't even know what it is myself. So I'm reaching over because my Periscope battery has died. I do apologise. Well, I'm glad you found us. What do you do for a living then, Xander?
Well, I've been unemployed now for like 3 weeks.
Uh-oh.
But I'm a chef by trade.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How's it going? You looking for work, or are you enjoying having the time off for a little bit?
Well, I'd worked at the last place for quite a long time, and I'd handed in my notice, and I'd worked 5 months for them.
Yeah.
And then they wanted another 2 months out of me, and I said, I'll do that. So I'll work 7 months notice for you.
7 months notice?
Chef. 7 months.
Flipping heck, man!
I know.
That's the longest job I've ever had.
They let me go, so like they found somebody else, but I didn't have anything lined up, so I just thought I want to chill out.
Yeah.
But then, of course, you run out of money, and I was like,
hang on,
can't really chill out.
You've run out of money in 3 weeks. I got that. Don't you worry. I have to by the rules of radio. I have to give you a yellow card for that. But
fair enough.
Well, I thought surely do chefs not get paid much money then?
No, not a lot.
Oh man, a lot.
It's hard work, and you don't get paid a lot.
Well, you do good work if you're a good chef. If you're a lousy chef,
Yeah, there's one friend that I work with who'd left like 2 weeks after me, and she's just spoken to me again for the first time tonight. And she said, like, she's working wherever she's working.
Yeah.
And I said to her, listen to Iain Lee tonight. I'm going to phone him for the first time. I've listened to him for a while, but I'm going to phone him. I told her it'd be like an hour from now because I thought I'd have to wait.
Oh,
but
no.
I got straight through.
There's no waiting here. We put people through pretty darn quickly, it has to be said. What's your friend's name?
Emily Liggins.
Emily Liggins! Bigging up the Liggins! Liggins?
I've been on the Rabbit Hole TV like all today, just watching your YouTube upload of the 11 o'clock show.
Oh, nice one.
And your call with the Christian guy from last night.
Paul from Liverpool. Paul's called in already tonight, and like I was saying earlier, because we're getting so many new voices like yourself. Paul has been asked to try again tomorrow, ex-BMP, but he's going to try again tomorrow. So he's ex-BMP, I found out today. So
lovely.
There you go. Well, Xander, listen, I'm glad you found us, mate. And keep listening and spread the word. It's appreciated.
Definitely will.
Cheers, my dears. Good luck getting a job as well.
Thanks very much.
Ta-ta. There we go. What a nice person. Periscope is back up. It's not 360 because it canes the battery. And that battery has died. 0344 499 1000. Let's go to Iain. Good evening, Iain.
Good evening, Iain.
Good evening, Iain. I hate... do you hate the name Iain?
No, I don't, but hear this. My next-door neighbour is also called Iain.
I always get uncomfortable when there are too many Ians.
Yes, so do I.
In a place. There's another radio station that's got 3 presenters called Iain. 3 presenters called Iain.
That's right. I know the other station. I alternate between yourself and the other station.
Well, you've made the right choice this evening, Iain. I'm assuming you spell your name incorrectly. I'm assuming you go for the IAN.
Absolutely, yes.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry your parents didn't make a better... I hate the name Iain. I find it's just vowels and a very soft consonant. It's like, ugh.
Well, that's a revelation to me.
Oh, well, as long as you're digging it, Iain. What have you got for us this evening?
Well, I wanted to thank you so much for giving us the entertainment of, I think the lady's name was Gilly.
Gilly Bean Music, yeah.
Yeah, that was fantastic, Ian.
Wasn't she good?
Yeah, she was very good. I'm also a musician.
Uh-oh, here we go.
And,
here we go, yeah, go on.
Yeah, all right, here we go. I play keyboard in the lounge of this establishment, which is called Hanover Court.
Yes.
And I entertain the other residents.
Oh, yeah.
It's sheltered accommodation.
Okay.
In Carmarthen.
Well, that's fantastic news. What gets their toes a tapping?
They like country music. I don't particularly, but I've downloaded some MIDI files to plug into the keyboard with the USB.
Yeah.
And I play country music and other music as well.
Yeah. There's a film in there, a bloke who's forced to play music he hates. That's great.
Oh, I'm sure there is, yeah.
That's torture. Well, Ian, keep on doing the good work.
Thank you very much, Ian.
Cheers, my dears. Ta-ta. What nice people. 3 people in a row to phone up to say they like me. Am I getting the sack again? Do they know? I need to check online. I'll check Radio Today at 11 o'clock. Am I getting the sack again? I'll adjust the angle on Periscope in a bit. I'm a little bit busy doing a radio show. Let's go to Alex. Good evening, Alex.
Good evening, Ian. I don't want to stay on too long because I'm terrified of talking in general, but on the radio, not fun. But I just thought we could do some nothing together and maybe find some nice music online and all have a little, 2-minute meditate together.
Okay.
Just putting it out there.
Let's do it.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
I'm doing it now.
I can't hear any music.
No, I'm doing the other one.
What other one? What, the silent one?
Yeah, you said you came up with 2 options. Look for music or do a little meditate.
Find some nice music and then all chill out together to the music.
Oh, all chill out together to the...
Do nothing.
Oh, I thought you said
music.
Or chill. I thought you said...
Oh, sorry.
Let's get some... let's get a guided meditation. Hang on a second. I used to listen to these. I used to be a bit of a hippie in the old day.
I think I'm still one now.
Here we go. Let's have a little listen to this. We won't listen to all of it because it goes on for 42 minutes.
Do not listen to this recording whilst driving or whilst operating machinery.
All right, guys.
Only listen when you can safely relax.
Yes.
And bring your full awareness to your own complete comfort.
You're not driving, are you, Alex?
Not yet, no.
No, don't.
Hello, this is Michael Seeley welcoming you to this guided meditation session.
Hang on a second, right? This has had 8 million views. That's almost as many as Paul from Liverpool's videos. 8 million views. Flipping heck. All right, here we go. Let's crack on. Let's chill out.
I have recorded this session for you as a form of mindfulness meditation with the intention to help you create a state of your own, relaxed, more observant, quieter and...
So here's the thing. When I'm listening to stuff like that, Alex... I start thinking, well, he's got a strange accent. I wonder where he's from.
I was just thinking, I don't like the way he says his T's. It's really annoying.
And the thing is, if you spot that in we're not even 30 seconds into the guided meditation, imagine how annoying that's going to be 40 minutes into it.
I tried it, and I end up screaming, "Shut up!" in my mind. So, that doesn't work.
That doesn't work, does it? Hang on, let me get some meditation music. Let's try. For positive energy. That's what we want. Meditation music.
Yeah, let's have some of that
for positive energy. Here we go. It's an hour. It's an advert for a bookies before. That seems a little bit odd. Right, let's get rid of the advert. Right, here we go. 3 hours. So that's quite busy for meditation music.
I don't know, I quite like it. It's a bit uplifting.
Yeah, it's for positive energy and healing. For healing. Hey, look, we smell to get well. There we go. Hey, this is quite nice. I tell you what we'll do.
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, we'll play this. For the underneath the whole show, Alex, and see if we can create a positive vibe. And by the way, if anyone is sick, maybe you're lame, maybe you're blind, maybe you've got AIDS or something. I don't know. I'm not being flippant. This music is healing music. So, if you could get a blood test just before the end of the show and let us know how that's going, that would be awesome. Thank you for that, Alex.
Send in a little video of getting up out of the wheelchair and walking.
Oh, videos of people getting up out of wheelchairs, walking. Throw away those crutches. You don't need them anymore. Thank you for that, Alex.
Thanks, Ian.
There we go.
Bye.
Ta-ta. There we go. Well, nice. We were right. There was a right good call there, Cass, for us to say no to those callers. We don't need them. Well, we do need them. We welcome them, but it's nice to get some new voices on. James and Jamie, stay there. We'll come to you after the news. If you're watching on Periscope, it's no longer 360. I'll up the angle in a bit. 0344 499 1000. It's taken an hour, but I think we've kind of got a theme for the show. It's nothing. It's doing nothing. It's talking about nothing. It's being nothing. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. You're listening to, well, nothing.
Talk Radio.
Think we can do it. A show about nothing. When nothing happens, we don't talk about anything. I think we can do that. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
So, this idea has been bubbling around in the back of my head all day because I've had a day of doing nothing and of trying to do nothing. Imagine trying to do nothing. Flipping heck, there's the problem. And I tried to do nothing on Saturday and I really struggle with it. I can't do it. So I watched this film, Entertainment, which is about nothing. And nothing happens. And I found myself looking at my phone. I was watching this Doctor Who where I enjoyed it. Nothing really happened. And I was getting fidgety and restless. And I stopped it halfway. I was going to go and get a haircut. I don't need a haircut. What I needed was something. I made the decision to get a haircut. And I looked in there and went, you don't need a haircut. So the act of doing nothing. There's an oxymoron, if ever there was one. Doing nothing. 0344 499 1000. You can call in about that. You can call in about absolutely anything you want as well. I've got a couple of people asking if they can call in about stuff. Dudes, you can call in about anything you want to call in about. Honestly, you won't find a more relaxed show. So there you go. Let's go to now. We've got James. Hello, James.
Hello.
Hey, James. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Speaking about doing nothing, I find it really difficult too. Sorry, I'm a second-time caller, by the way.
Hey, welcome back.
So second time. The first one was, good, so I thought I'd try and follow it up.
Good, well done.
I find it really, really challenging to, say you've got a whole day ahead of you where you think, I'm just going to watch films.
Yeah.
I can't do that. All of a sudden, the idea of a film is so unappealing that I prefer, the odd stolen hour and a half in between busy stuff to do. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what? You raise a really interesting thing. You're right. When there's a whole day, I mean, my kids have been away. My kids and my wife have been away, so I've been back in the house for the week. So I've been in the house looking after the dog and the cat, and they come home tomorrow, right? So I've had all of these. I've had these days where the day is free, you know, and I've been waking up at 11, and I don't need to come into work and don't need to leave for work until about 7. So that's a good 8 hours where I can. And I've ordered a load of DVDs. Box set of Laurel and Hardy arrived today. But the thought of sitting down and putting in a DVD and watching it for an hour and a half. Now, is that a modern thing, do you think, James? Because we're so used to being bombarded with messages and texts and emails and Twitter updates and stuff like that? Or has it always been like that?
I think so. The only time I can actually watch something is when I know I've got about an hour before I have to leave, so I try and cram an hour and a half film into it.
Yeah.
And that's the only time I enjoy the film. Yeah. I can't do it when I've got a whole day free. I don't know how you did all 5, 6, 7 police academies in a row.
Oh, it was 7. Oh, God, that was a long time ago. It was 7 police academies in one day. It was like taking LSD, I'd imagine, by the end of it, because we were just delirious. But
I could do that when I was younger. When I was more carefree and I didn't have all these commitments, I could enjoy all 3 Lethal Weapons or all 19 Rockies. 2
things. First of all, Twitter wasn't around when we did the. I wonder if Twitter is something to do with this. Twitter certainly wasn't around, and I'm not sure Facebook was. MySpace was, but Twitter wasn't around. And also, I remember as a kid. I don't know how old you are, James. When I was a kid, right, it was a big thing to go to the video store and rent a video, right? And you got a video.
It was a Friday night thing. You went out on a Friday and
And we got a video, and you'd get it for either 24 hours or 48 hours, right? So you'd watch the video the Friday night, and then I would get up early the next day to watch the video again. To get my money's worth, and I could quite happily sit through the same 2 hours that I'd watched the night before.
Yeah. No, I remember.
I couldn't do that now. I can't. Well, if I've watched a film in the last 5 years, I can't watch it again.
No. Why is that? Is it just the bombardment of Netflix? I mean, I started Netflix about 2 weeks ago because I wanted to watch the film Amadeus.
Oh yeah, is it on there?
Well, I googled Amadeus and watch online, and all these Footlockers and illegal sites came up, and then it said Netflix, and it said Netflix Amadeus, and it came up with the synopsis. So I thought, quid in, and I started the free trial thinking, I'll watch it, see how I get on, and it wasn't available.
Oh, it might have been available in America, because all the different Netflix countries have all got different films.
Right.
It's Netflix. Here's the thing I don't get about Netflix, right? They spent $60 million making the film Okja. I think they gave $100 million to Dave Chappelle.
Right.
And Netflix is something like, I'm sure I've got this right, it's something like $1 billion in debt, or like $500 million in debt. It's massively, massively in debt. And I cannot see, because here's what, right, if you've got Netflix, right, first of all, I got Netflix free for about 6 months because I kept using different email addresses, right? But, and I don't do this because it's against their terms and conditions, but everybody that's got Netflix has given their login details to at least 5 other people, haven't they?
I don't know. I can't be bothered. You know what? I'm 29 days. That's it. That's it for me.
It is pretty ropey. It does make you completely lower your standards as to what is an acceptable Saturday night movie to watch. I mean, the crap I watched at the weekend because it was on Netflix. Did you know, James? What does Netflix and chill mean to you?
Well, I used it a long time before I actually found out what it meant.
It means
sex.
sex.
I used it in completely the wrong context. Yeah.
I thought it meant what? Because I've said to my mum, "Let's Netflix and chill." I thought it means you take your shoes off, put your feet up on the coffee table, and you watch a movie. No, it means you go and have sex.
Well, I've recounted what I've done as Netflix and chill, and I've implied incest, bestiality, all sorts. I was just Netflix and chilling with my cat.
Have there been any situations, James, where you've been with an attractive person that you fancy and you've said Netflix and chill and they've thought, oh, but actually you've just meant just watch a film. And you've missed an opportunity.
Watch the 2 hours Blockbuster, yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
It's interesting. I think I think the thing about watching films over and over again, I think that's youth. But I think the fear, and it's really interesting what you say, I think the fear of watching, of having a day ahead of you and sitting down and watching a film, I think it's technology. I think it's Twitter. I think it's Facebook. I think it's having emails in your pocket. I think it's that.
Yeah, and I'm so used to pausing it as well when I need a toilet break or something or to eat.
Yep.
That when I go to the cinema or actually watch a film live and I can't pause it, I find myself needing to go to the toilet halfway through, and I have no idea what to tell. So I bring a bottle next to the bed, and I think, is this progress?
Hang on, what a bottle? Hang on, there was so much in that last sentence. Just as I was about to say goodbye. Well, you bring a bottle to the bed.
Yeah, like a 6-pint milk bottle, just to
pee in,
micturate in. Yeah.
When you're in bed.
Yeah, because I don't have the Sky Plus in my room, so I've got to watch a film. When it starts, it's on. And you pee in a bottle in your bed? Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I thought only junkies did that. And I'm not saying for a second you're a junkie. I thought that was a junkie thing. You pee in you pee in a bottle. That's brilliant.
I'm so used to pausing films and stuff now.
Wow, look at that. It's having a physical effect on our bladders.
It's not good.
James, good to talk to you, man. Thanks for calling again.
Thank
Speak
you.
soon.
Have a good one.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Peas in a bottle? That's a bit off colour, isn't it? I had a really good point there, and I can't think what it was. Oh yeah, in the 90s, I remember when Brandon Lee's The Crow came out. Right, I've never seen The Crow because it looks rubbish, but I remember loads of reviewers saying, "Oh, the scenes in it are too short. There's too many cuts in it." And they said it's because it's made for the MTV generation. And the MTV generation can't sit and watch a 4-minute scene. It has to watch like a 90-second scene or a 2-minute scene. And I think we're like light years away from that now. We can't sit and watch a movie. The tedium of watching a movie. Wow. Let's go to Jamie. Joe, Matthew, John, stay there. I'll come to you in a bit. Yes, Jamie.
Hi, Neil Hamburger.
Yep.
I used to talk to him on MySpace quite often.
Did you really?
Yeah, I first got to know him on... Tom Green used to do an internet show called Tom Green's House.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? That was like a phone, like an interview and phone-in show, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he got quite sophisticated, and he built a set in his house and everything. I used to stay up till 4 a.m. every morning to watch it.
Yeah.
And Neil Hamburger, he was in there. He was always in character, and I don't know. It's quite surreal sometimes. It'd be brilliant to get on the show.
He was on the show yesterday.
Oh, I missed it because I was working.
Well, I say he was on the show. The guy that plays him, Greg Turkington. I don't want to ruin the illusion for you, Jamie, but Greg Turkington was on the show yesterday. It'll be out as a podcast.
Oh, that's brilliant.
It'll be out. I went because he's doing some shows in London this week and next week.
Oh, I'm working all week as well. My boss won't even pay to put a digital radio in the van.
Well, your boss is a dick.
He is a dick. I might quit.
Well, don't quit just because of that.
That was all. Just wanted to let you know.
Yeah. Because I was unaware of Neil Hamburger, and because I'm a big fan of a show that he's in called Decca. And yeah, so him and Tim Heidecker are doing some shows this week, so I went to meet them, and then I watched the film Entertainment Today, which is, nothing happens in it, and it's great. But I'm gonna check out some of his work. He used to do like prank phone calls and stuff, didn't he?
Years back, I think that was before all the before the Tom Green's House stuff, because I've not seen him. I've just seen him on there and some of his stand-up stuff.
Yeah.
And even in America, some audiences don't know how to take him.
Yeah, of course not.
In like an Andy Kaufman kind of way.
Yeah, great.
It's brilliant. I love American comedy.
He tells in the film. It's not really the film he's in. It's not really a comedy, but you see little bits of his stand-up, and he tells a very off-color joke about Crosby, Stills, and Nash, which really, really made me laugh a lot, and it's a very wrong joke. Very wrong. But he's good. It'll be, Jamie, if you follow me on Twitter, as soon as it's up as a podcast, I will tweet the living crap out of it.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much.
Nice one, man. Thank you very much.
Speak to you later, mate.
Ta-ta. Speaking of David Crosby, of course, from the Byrds. Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. Crosby, Stills and Nash. Crosby and Nash. I tweeted him the other day saying, I'd love to get you on my UK radio show. And he liked the tweet. He's replied to me in the past. So today I said, seriously, man, I love you. What are the chances of chatting to you on my late night UK radio show? David Crosby replied, maybe when I come there. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen. One of my absolute musical heroes tweeted me. Matthew, John, Joe, 0344. Lower your voice, Lee. We're trying to do nothing. I've got a bit excited there. 0344 499 1000. This is absolutely nothing.
Neon lit night talk for torch singers, trolley dollies, and train wrecks like me.
Never know just where the conversation will take you.
What I'm going to say sounds ridiculous.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
So it's a show about nothing where we're trying to do... it's such a strange sentence. Trying to do nothing. Trying to do nothing. Trying and do don't fit with the word nothing, do they? Surely to do nothing is just nothing. You dig, man? You dig? By the way, if you're imbibing at home, I don't recommend it, but tonight's the show for you, huh? Tailor-made radio for you, stoners. Let's go to Matthew. Good evening, Matthew.
Hello, how's it going?
It's going very well, Matthew. How's it going for you?
Well, yeah, not too bad. Just calling up to tell you how nuts your show is tonight. I get in the car and I start driving, and I've got some sort of sleep music going off on the radio.
Yep.
First time I switched it on, and started feeling relaxed after my night shift. And then you enlightened me about Netflix and chill. I never even knew that.
No, I only found out recently, and I was so embarrassed.
I had absolutely no idea. And then some guy starts telling us how he peas in a bottle in bed, and I was laughing like a fool.
That was a revelation. I was confused as to what he meant. That was a real surprise.
Within 10 minutes, I almost crashed the car twice.
Oh, God. Well, now, listen. Hey, I don't know if you were listening to last night's show, Matthew, but we heard a story that was in the papers about a man that had invented a machine. He was an inventor, and he'd invented a machine that a robot that he would plug into his car, and how do I put this? I'll just say it. It would tug him off while he was driving. And he crashed his car as a result. Unsurprisingly, he flipped over his Corsa.
Sounds like a dream machine.
Yeah,
dream machine.
Very green, but not clean. Yes.
So I called up a couple of weeks ago, and I think I got through to you had David Babcock. Hosting your show, I think.
Oh, the ghost guy. Yeah, he's a regular caller. Yeah.
So he was hosting the show. I got through to him, and I was going to ask you a question about. Seems to be a trend in the show tonight. Should I quit my job or not?
Wow.
And yeah, I was going to have a quick chat to you and get the polls and the go, but yeah, I've done it.
Hang on a minute. I was about to say, don't quit your job, and you've done it. Go on. What? Oh, I'm sorry you didn't get sort then. Because you obviously. I always think, Matthew, when people are asking the question, should I quit my job? Should I leave my husband? Should I? They've made their mind up, and they just want other people to kind of back them up. But they've made their mind up. What was your job, and why did you quit it?
So, I was operations director of a nightclub, restaurant, and bar company.
Okay.
We've got it was lots of hours, lots of work, no sleep. But yeah, I'm starting my own business.
Hey, that's good.
Yeah, I'm doing doing the food truck thing.
Doing the what thing?
Food truck. I'm starting up my own food truck.
What do you mean, selling food at festivals and things?
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly. So,
what's your gimmick? What's your USP, Matthew?
Fish.
No, to be rude. I'm just asking. What do you mean, fish?
Not fish and chips.
No.
So you've got grilled lobsters, grilled mackerel wraps, scallops.
Oh, dirty boy.
So it's going to be proper kind of a la carte food from the restaurants that I run.
Yeah.
But serve street food style.
I've never had a lobster.
You're kidding.
No, well, I was a vegetarian, Matthew, for about 26 years, from the age of 15 up till about 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. So I for a long period of my life, I didn't eat meat, and I'm back in the meat business of eating it. But there's still lots and lots of stuff that I've never had. The thing about lobster is do you have to kill it by boiling it while it's alive?
No, sacrilege, that is. You put it in the freezer first of all, and it goes to sleep.
What?
And if you put it in the freezer, it goes into like a little coma.
Yeah.
And then you boil it, and then you then you put it in, and it doesn't feel a thing.
I don't know if that sounds any better. You freeze a lobster into a coma and then boil it. Flipping heck, man! That sounds like that's what the Germans used to do in World War II. That sounds like torture. See, there must be like a second when like the lobster wakes up from the coma and goes, "Oh, that was bloody hell! It's boiling! Oh, I'm dead." There must be like a second where it's aware of what's going on.
No, it's mainly the shock. As long as it goes into boiling water.
Yeah.
So it's around about upwards of 97 degrees.
Yeah.
The shock, it just kills it instantaneously.
Okay.
It's like dying in sleep. Perfect.
Yeah. A fish is kind of a big hole in my meat tasting knowledge. So but I wish you the best of luck with that. Good. So are you all set to go with it then?
Almost. If you remember correctly, I was the one that called up many months ago to say I booked the trip to America on the back of you guys.
Oh, yeah, I do remember.
Yeah. This is one of the reasons why we're going to America also, to go and do all the food trucks, to do some tasting.
Come on,
and sampling.
Come on, Matthew. Come on. You're talking to me now. You can't pretend. You can say this to your accountant and to the tax man, but don't try and kid me that this trip to America is work. You're going to go to America to eat loads of fish.
Business research. Business research. Honestly.
You can claim it back. You're self-employed. You can claim back the tax.
Claim back everything. Claim back everything.
Oh, mate, well, listen, I wish you the best of luck with it. I hope it works out for you. I'm sure it will.
Cheers, buddy. See you in a bit.
Nice one, man. Thank you very much indeed. He was nice. There was one thing I didn't have the courage to say to him, right? Don't call it street food. I mean, actually, he'll be selling it in a street, right? So that's fine. But when you see restaurants, there are restaurants, like buildings. We're selling street food. No, you're not. You're selling food in a restaurant. It's a restaurant. Come and get this. We just lost a call there. If we could get that back. Come and get this authentic street food. Unless you're selling it on a street, it's just food. Evening, Sandra.
Hello there, Ian. I'm a first-time caller, but I love your show.
Oh, thank you. We're getting lots of first-time callers tonight, which is wonderful. How long have you been listening for, Sandra?
Oh, a few months. Someone introduced me to you, and I thought listen to the show at night time.
Well, I'm glad you are listening. What have you called in for this evening?
I was just listening to you talking about interviewing David Crosby.
Hopefully. Be still, my beating heart. Fingers crossed.
Oh, do you know who else is wonderful?
Go on.
Doctor Hook.
Oh,
Dennis from Doctor Hook is huge on Twitter.
Hang on a second, Sandra.
Tweets.
You know that. Well, you're obviously not been listening long enough. Dennis is a friend of mine.
Oh, didn't know that.
Dennis has been on the show more times than you can. He's been on it about 3 or 4 times. In fact, he was because he's doing loads of shows at the moment, and he messaged me and said if he could come on again. So what I'm going to do? What's great about Dennis LeCorrier, dear listener, the voice of Doctor Hook. When you're in love with a beautiful woman, when your body's had enough of me, and you're laying flat out on the floor. When you think I've loved you all I can, I'm gonna love you a little bit more. That's my mum's favourite song, and basically it's about a man who's had sex with a woman, so much that she's exhausted, but he's gonna have sex with her a second time. That presents
that would not happen in the way.
No, it would not. That presents an unhealthy image of men that I cannot rise to. Literally, he's good, Dennis. No, the great thing.
We have like a summer thing up here in Glasgow.
Yeah.
In the Kelvin Grove Studios. It's outdoor and. I was an Indies child in the 80s. I loved the Smiths and all that, so I was pure snotty and said I don't like Doctor Hook. But it was the best concert I've been to.
Yeah, of course it was.
Yeah, and I'm going to Carlisle to see him as well, so...
Right, well, I've literally just sent him a message saying, a fan of yours, Sandra, asking if I could get you on as a guest one night. Sandra, it will happen. The great thing about it is, when Dennis comes on, I can just sit back. Talking about doing nothing now, I can sit back for an hour because he can talk the hind legs off a donkey.
Oh, you can.
That man can talk like nobody's business.
So can you, Ian. So can you.
Yeah, well, she said so for a second there with your delightful accent. That so can sounded a lot like the F word.
Oh my God!
No, I don't. I can as well. But Dennis he's a mate of mine. We'll get him on soon, Sandra. So keep listening.
Oh, fantastic. I will, I promise, Ian. Take care.
Take care. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
See you later.
Bye-bye. What nice people we get. What nice people. Let's go to John, because John's dropped off a couple of times. Sorry, John. What you got for us?
Just don't know.
Hello?
John! Doesn't add anything.
John?
To the show.
Who's there calling for John?
Oh, hi. There's a long feedback going on.
Right, turn off your speaker.
Yeah,
turn off my speaker, Law. Okay.
But do you think it just shows people up for what they are? And
okay.
But
I can still hear me.
And where he's not here, so I want to...
Wait, what do I turn off? Hold on, hello, give me a second, 1 second.
For what they are. It feels like
I'm turning everything off. We're talking?
What's on first, what's on second. We're playing that over and over again, and I just don't know.
Ian, are we talking?
Well, how come?
I'd like to speak to Ken at least.
I've turned off everything on my computer. It's turned off everything.
Right, let me turn off everything on my computer. Oh, it might be me.
All right.
No, it's not me. Hang on.
It's not you.
It's you.
Okay. By the way, 0344.
That's
I'm hearing you. What's going on?
I don't know, but that's you. That is you. Hello.
I told you all last week with the idea.
That's not even tonight's show you're listening to.
I'm listening to you on the internet.
You're listening. That's Kyle, though. I can hear Kyle's voice. Kyle phoned in yesterday.
Yeah, so they wrote me a letter. Yeah. Well, I think
that's Kyle from yesterday.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Yes.
What the hell is going on? This is such a stylish show tonight. If you do take drugs, I don't recommend it. I think honestly don't. But this is made for you guys.
I'm sorry. Ian, I'm sorry.
Are you listening to the podcast or something?
No, I'm watching you. I've got my computer going, and I've cancelled all other windows.
Right, are you what? Okay, I wonder if you're watching tonight's video or yesterday's. Describe what I'm wearing.
What is tonight from your point of view?
And you're kind of thinking...
So, what What is tonight from my point of view? Man, there's a heavy question, dude.
We're going deep.
You're watching a video of me. What am I wearing in the video?
Well,
Ian, we're talking now, really.
Because I was totally fine with that.
Right.
And I was I've been quite good with my
what do you want me to do, man?
Sorry?
So,
what do you want me to do?
Tell me what I'm wearing on the video you can see of me.
They just go up and say, Ian.
Well, I can see your face on the talk radio.
Yes, that's my face.
Yeah, we're going.
What colour top am I wearing?
Huh?
Right.
What colour top am I wearing?
Okay, let me figure it out. Hold on.
As it may be, you've got to pay it back. 50 quid.
He's gone. Well, that was highlight of the night for me. You're listening to nothing.
Whispering lunar incantations for cross-parents, cross-dressers.
Yeah, did you know this about me?
And cross-rail workers.
Steel and polycarbonate.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
I've got a very poor internet connection.
On Talk Radio.
I like those new little trails and jingles they've made. I like those. They've put some effort into that. Fair play. I'll have that. Tonight's show is I would say quite easily the weirdest show I've ever done, with the delightful start. If you just tuned in at the beginning, we did a Periscope Love Bomb completely spontaneously, had nothing for the show. And Gilly Bean Music, we all Periscope Love Bombed her, and she was wonderful. She plays piano and takes requests on Periscope. She's been doing it for about 2 years. She's going to come in one night. We'll sort that out, which is fantastic. And that was such a lovely start to the show. I didn't quite know where to go with the rest of it. So tonight we're doing nothing. And having the word doing there, it's an oxymoron. It just doesn't make sense. So I guess we remove the word, and tonight we are nothing. I don't think that humans now are capable of doing nothing. I do meditate sometimes. I do transcendental meditation. I have a mantra and everything. And you're supposed to do it twice a day for 20 minutes each. And I haven't done it for ages. I do it if I can't get to sleep, and I do it if I have a headache, and it helps with that stuff. But generally, it's good. 20 minutes of just being sat there peacefully, trying to think of nothing. Imagine trying to think of nothing. It's insane, but it's fun. But I haven't done that for ages. I find it so hard to be nothing. And I've been thinking about it a lot. I was thinking about it on Saturday, when I had, for the first time in years, I had a Saturday to myself. The family are away, and I had no work. I had no responsibilities. I had nowhere I needed to be. And I was excited because I was going to watch some films and play some games on Xbox, and I really, really struggled with it. I really struggled. I couldn't sit down and focus and play a game. I couldn't sit down and... I tried to play Star Trek Online today on the Xbox. God, that was dull. Man, that was dull. Such and such wants to see you. Why don't you run over there and speak to them? The person over there wants to speak. Oh, goodness sake. And then today, the theme of nothing has just been recurring with this Doctor Who, old Patrick Troughton Doctor Who DVD I bought. And I'm really enjoying it. Halfway through it, really enjoying it. But nothing happens in it. Nothing happens in it. They go to a place. It's all set in basically 3 rooms. And it took a bit of getting used to. Films and TV programs now, it's ba 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 bum, ba 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 bum. And this, it's like bum, bum. And I found it a struggle. And today as well, I also watched this film, Entertainment, starring Neil Hamburger, or Greg Turkington as Neil Hamburger. And I was kind of expecting, the sort of rude, slightly existential comedy. And for the whole 90 minutes it's on, hour and 3/4, very little happened, and I wasn't used to it. It was a surprise. It was jarring to my system to watch a film where nothing happens. And I really struggled today with doing nothing, to the point where I was going to go out and get a haircut when I didn't need a haircut. And I was going to go out on my scooter, and I didn't need to. I was going to go out and do this, and I didn't need to. I couldn't just sit there. And I was trying to play some games on Xbox, and I give them 10 minutes. I tried Elite, and I gave it 10 minutes, and I couldn't do the second training thing. And I thought, I'll stuff this. So I tried SSX, and I couldn't do that. So I was all over the place. I couldn't sit down, focus on one thing for 2 hours. Tried to read. I couldn't read. And I think it's Twitter. I think it's Facebook, because I was looking at Twitter and Facebook a lot. I think it's smartphones being, everybody is contactable all the time, whether it's on text or whether it's on email. That can't be good for us, can it? That can't be healthy. That's got to be a bad thing, hasn't it? We don't want more noise in our lives. We want less noise. And if my circumstances were different, which they may be one day, I would get rid of the phones and the computers, and I'd just go and I'd love to live in a house in the middle of nowhere. And I'd have a DVD player. I wouldn't have like TV, but I'd have a DVD, I'd have a TV, but it wouldn't be connected. But I'd have a DVD player and a stack of films and a load of books, and just to sit and watch films and read books and maybe do a bit of writing and stuff. I'd love it. I would absolutely love it. I really would. Can you get the other phone call, please, Sam? Thank you very much indeed. I'll keep talking until you've got that sorted out. So tonight we're looking at nothing. We're talking about nothing. We're sharing stories of nothing. We've had some load of new callers as well tonight, which is absolutely fantastic. It's really appreciated. People coming from all over the place, and we've had some delightful fruitcakes, which again is delightful. Let's try. John, are you back? John sounds like he's stapling his penis to something. Hello, John. Hey, John. Hello, John. Got a new motor? I wonder what that noise is. Stapling his penis. Hitting it with a hammer, slamming it in a drawer. There's the drawer, slamming it in a drawer, because he's been a bad little boy. I'm happy to listen to this for a bit. This really is the late night alternative tonight, isn't it? Proper psychedelic show. John, are you there?
John, I'm here.
Hello, you're John?
I'm here, I'm John.
Yes, I'm Ian, I'm here. Can I ask, what were you doing that was making that odd noise? Were you slamming it in a drawer?
No, I was going to the fridge. Yeah, actually, I was going to go and get a drink in the fridge.
Okay, it's a very noisy fridge.
Oh, my God. So everybody is waiting to have a chat. We all can hear each other, right?
No.
No? Just you and me, huh?
Well, I've been calling your name for about 3 minutes.
Huh?
So, John, what's your story?
You say again? 50 quid, what? Huh?
There's that banging again.
Hey, what were you saying? It's interesting.
Yes. What? Why have you called in, John? What can I help you with?
Financial penalty.
Financial penalty? Are you talking about Kyle's call from yesterday's show?
Iain knows she doesn't.
Yeah, this is Iain you're speaking to, John. John?
Yeah, this is John. I'm confused.
I can tell, buddy. I'm Iain. You're on the radio. What's going on there? You sound a little bit lost.
Yeah, I'm a little bit lost because I'm hearing about 20 different voices in my ear. I'll take out the headphones.
Okie doke.
No, it's not stressful. I'll take out the headphones. Iain.
Yes, John.
Doing another show on Virgin.
Oh, sweet Jesus Christ.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Dear God.
I was in the rest of the day.
Wow, that's a plot twist.
Did you say my show on Virgin gave you a seizure?
I think it was...
John, that's not tonight's show.
Yes, this is the best news I've ever had. I have never taught someone to have a fit before.
John, this is, you're not listening to tonight's show, John.
I've got to tell Francis this. This is incredible, Kyle.
Can you...
For you to death.
You know, John, you're on Skype, aren't you?
You know, I was probably not touching goal.
Hello, John?
Were you touching?
I wasn't touching cloth.
John!
I don't want to... What is, I know a very serious medical condition.
I'm John, but never mind. I'm okay.
No, I don't think you are, buddy. Close everything on your computer apart from Skype.
Don't worry about Grim.
Yes, really.
So when my friends make jobs...
Close everything on the computer except for Skype.
Gilly was a white one that's reconstructed, and it was quite slow. William Hartnell, and it was on that weekend that I asked
John!
the one that killed me. And somebody was like, did it bore you that much?
I don't want to hear...
John!
You have... Carl, if I'm completely honest, I want to revel in the glory. You know Monty Python killed a man. You know that.
Yeah. I've closed everything apart from Skype.
Yeah, a bloke
then
laughing, watching...
It wasn't Monty Python anyway, it was the Goodies. Why can I hear me talking to Kyle? What have you got open that's playing that?
I've closed everything apart from Skype.
I don't believe you. I have evidence I have evidence to the contrary.
Not like that.
I'll close Skype, okay?
Okay, close Skype, yeah. Thanks for calling. Let's go to a break.
Moonlit musings from mums, madams, and meat packers.
Oh, never mind, I must have misheard.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
The station's brilliant.
On Talk Radio.
Oh, shall I close Skype, shall I? Yes, drops off immediately, of course, because that's what he was speaking to us through. Was it Carl? Carl's listening on Twitter. Was it yesterday we did that, or was it Monday? It all blurs into one. But imagine phoning. Jimmy, I'll come to you in a second. Imagine phoning a phone-in show, but you're listening to the one from the night before, and you're phoning in to talk about that. There's a great sketch by Mr. Show, Bob Odenkirk and David Cross, where he's doing a pre-recorded phone-in show, and people have to phone in for the week before. So it gets very confused. Anyway, it's very, very funny. 0344 499 1000. It's a show about nothing. Jimmy's on the line. Good evening, Jimmy.
How's it going, mate?
Very, very bizarrely is how it's going.
That was a bit dark, wasn't it, that John situation? That kind of spooked me out, I can't lie. What do you think he was actually doing?
I don't want to say because it's rude. Sue's not happy. Sue says, Ian, if that's your producer putting through drunken callers, sack him. Well, it's Cass tonight. Very bad radio. Au contraire, Sue. Contraire. Here, Jimmy, whenever I get, a new producer, and Catherine is away. She's back on Monday, but we've had Cass, we've had Emma, we've got Hayley tomorrow. I always say, they say, how do you like to do the show? And I say, straightforward phone-in show. But if people phone in that you wouldn't normally put through, put them through, put them at the front of the queue, because I love, and on a late night show, that's what, for me, it's about. It's about people on the fringes of society and the lost and the bewildered, and it's a drop-in centre for the confused. So,
but that was those kind of calls are the best ones, because you get, like, with that whole situation with John, you get so lost in it, because you think, what is going on there? That was so spooky and so dark. I was thinking, it sounds like he's got somebody trapped in that place. You know what I mean?
No, because I was imagining that the physical assaults were happening to his own body, and that was disturbing enough for me. It is. Don't bring a prisoner into it as well, please.
That was disturbing enough for me too, of what it would look like after it had been in all them drawers and shut in the fridge. Just like a flat. He'd be good for the puppetry of the penis, wouldn't he?
I've done puppetry of the penis.
I know. That was hilarious.
Well, they came in on another radio station and they taught me how to do a hamburger. I don't think I could do it.
Did it hurt?
No, it didn't hurt, because it's all quite flexible. No one ate it, but unfortunately, but yeah, I did it when they came in. It's good. Their show, the puppetry of the penis. I enjoyed it. Anyway, Jim,
you went to see it, yeah.
I went to
see it. What I was calling about was you're having trouble doing nothing, right?
Yeah.
And I'd like to know how, because for the past, 6 months, I'm having trouble doing anything or getting anything done or doing something. So I'm trying to work out what would you think is making you do nothing? Do you know why? What making you do something?
It's hard to once you get into it. It's a minefield of language. What is making me do something? Okay, off the top of my head, maybe I'm banging on about social media and smartphones too much. I think it's smartphones. I think smartphones are like crack cocaine, right? I don't know if you've ever seen a crack addict, but what they do is they very rarely move, and they're always holding their crack pipe. They're always holding it. It's everything to them. And if they move to go to the toilet, or if they have to go to the car to meet their dealer, or if they go anywhere, they hold their crack pipe. They hold it in their hand, and they hold it close to their chest, right? And if they break their crack pipe, because, generally they're made of glass, they're devastated. Absolutely devastated, because it's everything to them. And I genuinely think, with no word of an exaggeration, that the mobile phone is like a crack pipe, and Twitter and emails and tweets. That's like crack. It's like a little rock.
It's definitely like a crackhead, because crackheads, when they talk to you, they change the subject in the most random places,
don't they?
So like it's similar to, like, if you was flicking through Instagram, you would go through, because I don't know if you've noticed that I had a crackhead come up and ask me for some money once. And he's like, mate, have you got £1 and this, that, and the third? And I was like, I'm sorry, mate, I ain't got it. And he was like, it wasn't even my toaster. And then he walked off.
Yeah.
And that fascinates me.
Yeah, how the brain makes the connections and stuff.
Yeah, but if you sit and try to not finish a sentence and move on to the next one, it's really hard. It's really challenging for your head. But it's really cool. It's really weird, but it's really cool, if you get what I'm saying. So if I said to you, like, I was walking down and it's unbelievable that if you drive that fast, eventually you're going to the shop on Saturday and then whatever.
Well, I can't play snooker. I've never been able to.
Exactly. Snooker's one of those things that if you're going to pay for that kind of thing in your life, then you're kind of missing out, and you've made bad choices on whatever is on the shelf. It's not really my kind of lifestyle.
I miss the smell of my dad's shoes.
Yeah, I miss the sound of my dad's voice.
Do you really?
I really do.
Oh, mate.
And I've got loads of recordings of it 'cause he was a singer, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, was he? Oh, that's good.
I miss the sound of my dad's voice.
Yeah.
The sound of my mum's snore. The sound of my brother's snoring, because it was so loud it used to wake me up in the night, but I miss those sounds. It's pretty nuts, right?
What, are they not around anymore?
No, they all died in the past year.
Oh, did you tell me this?
Briefly before, yeah.
Oh,
But,
mate.
yeah, that's the reason why I'm basically, what is the situation? I've got a house. I want to sell this house.
Yeah.
Move out because it's the family home and it's just a bit dark now. Yeah.
It is.
So.
It is. Oh, buddy, I'm sorry.
And you're doing a lot of something, and I'm doing a lot of nothing. I'm still going to work and getting things done, and I'm all right. Do you know what I mean? But going into that house is just completely demotivating. So I was trying to work out what your technique was. Do you know what I mean, for not being able to stop doing something.
We've only got a minute left. I've really enjoyed this, and we've covered so much in this short conversation. How are you doing, man? How are you doing?
I'm all right. Up and down. I have a bit of flashbacks. We're going through. I won't say much about it, but the circumstances my brother died in was a medical error. Oh. So we're going through a bit of a case at the moment, which is dragging it all up. But, you know, ups and downs. And my brother's one has affected me more than the others because I found him, so it's kind of all a bit flashbacky sometimes. But do you know what? I'm all right, man. I had good parents, so... Yeah. I'm strong.
You're doing proud. You're doing proud.
Yeah, true. You know, moved up the citalopram a little bit. Considered.
It's all good.
Considered a few venlafaxine a couple of times, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to stick with the citalopram and hopefully move it back
is the
down.
one that's making me fat, Jimmy. It's the
really?
One it's the one that's making me fat. Hey, listen,
is it
man.
Good though?
Listen, I've got to go to a break. You can either finish it now, or you can come back on after the news if you want.
Up to you, dude.
Come back on because I feel we've got more to say. Is that all right?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right, all right, nice one, Jimmy. Thank you. Jimmy, stay there. And Matt, well, who'd have thought a show about nothing could be so interesting? You are listening to Nothing.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
So, well, tonight's show, it really is. When I came to Talk Radio and they said, what slot would you most like to do? I said, night time, 10 till 1. They said, really? Yeah, 10 till 1. You fancy drive or break? No, 10 till 1. Why? And in my head, tonight's show is the show that I was thinking of when I said I wanted 10 till 1. Just kind of, you know, a show for the lost, the bewildered, the lonely, the unwell, the happy, the joyous. Everybody is welcome here. But the reason the show is now called the Late Night Alternative, and that's a recent thing, is because it is an alternative to everything else that's going on the radio. Everything else. You want your news, you want your Muslim talk, your terrorist talk, your Brexit talk, your Trump talk. That's out there, man. That's out there on, I could name 5 other stations right now that if we flicked on, they'd be talking about one of those things right now. Guarantee it. This is, you know, kind of for anybody. 0344 499 1000. And tonight is particularly strange. We started off with such a lovely start where we Periscope Love Bombed Gilly, who had 14 viewers. We got her up to nearly 200. She was taking requests on the piano on Periscope. And it was such a lovely start that to then go through all these stories that I've got out of the newspaper, just it just seems a little bit silly to do that. And I was really struggling as what to talk about tonight. And the theme that has been in my head for the last week or so is how tricky it is to do nothing. The fact that we say do nothing, try to do nothing. Those words shouldn't go together. I find it really, really, really hard. And we've had some great calls. 0344 499 1000. Matt, stay there. You'll be next. But we were talking to Jimmy before the news, and there were lots of information was revealed in the calls, and I felt a little bit cheap and crass at having to round it up. So, are you still there, Jimmy?
I'm still here, dude.
You're still here. Here's a perfect example, Jimmy. I feel that if tonight's show were happening next week,
yeah,
we'd carry on after 1 o'clock. We've got the go-ahead from the boss to try it once, and then we're going to have a chat the next day to see, how I feel about it, how Catherine feels about it, how he feels about it. Don't worry, Sam, you can go at 1. You won't have to stick around. Don't worry. We'll take it from here. But he's given us the go-ahead to try it once. If the show is, 10 minutes to 1, we feel the show hasn't finished, we can carry on for another half an hour, or another hour, or another 5 hours if we feel like it.
That's awesome.
I'm really, really excited about it. We might not do it on the first night. We're only going to do it if the vibe feels right, Jimmy. If we feel like we've got, we're not going to force it out. But I think it could be a nice little thing, carry on talking until 2:30 in the morning.
No, I think it's possible, man, because you're bound to get a good one towards the end.
Yeah.
Because it's later, isn't it? So
yeah.
The later it gets, the more you're going to get something that comes up that kind of matches, not matches, just something that might be just strange and wonderful.
And I tell you what I've noticed in the last 3 weeks, right? Last 4 weeks, right? We've had so many new voices calling in, and it's great that we've got regulars. I'm not knocking that at all, but we've had so many new voices and so many people that haven't listened before and that have phoned in, and so many people like John, who called in, bless him, who was on Skype. Where it all gets a little bit surreal and psychedelic, and it just means that for me, each new caller is just another shade of colour, another hue that I can use in kind of painting the picture that is this show. Does that sound wanky? A little bit, but fair play.
It doesn't sound like it. It sounds fair, because you take something from each call, and I'm sure the people listening are gonna. I've learnt things from callers on here. Bits and bobs over the years listening. Some people go through some stuff, or I've learnt just sometimes about just basically doing what you want, really. Do you know what I mean? Because some people call up and they call you and they're just pure. They're literally calling you up and saying whatever comes in their head. And people don't do that. People get filtered out. And I don't like that. I like the fact that people can call you up and literally say what the hell they want.
You mentioned earlier on that you spoke to a crack addict. Was that recently?
No, what it was, I used to work nights on the tube outside Warren Street, and there was all the time. But I've spoken to crack addicts before. Yeah, I've got like a old friend who's a crack addict. He turns up every now and then, tries to sell me like a lawnmower or something. Man. So we talk for a bit, and then he goes.
I've got a scooter now, a little moped, and I flipping love it, right? And I had to take it in for an MOT, so I took it into Shepherd's Bush, and suddenly I had 5 hours to spend in London. I got there at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I saw that. I thought, I'll see if there's a film on, and the only film that was on at 10:30 in the morning, Leicester Square. It was Atomic Blonde, which actually turned out to be all right. But so I got to Leicester Square about 9:45. And I just sat in Leicester Square, looking. I was on my phone, of course, and this young lad. I'm going to say young lad. He looked old, but I get the feeling he was young, and he was obviously he was in a state. He was filthy, and he was obviously, but he slept out, and he looked awful, and he had that dead look in his eye. He had a dead look, and he came over to me, and he was so polite. He said, "I'm really sorry to bother you, sir. But I'm not very well. Could you give me some money for heroin?
Well,
and he said, could you give me £4 to buy heroin?
Wowza.
Imagine, I've got, listen, I've got a history with drinking and drugs. I don't really go into on the air for various reasons, but I have got nothing but sympathy for those poor souls that have got the disease of addiction, because it's a disease. And I said, man, look, I'm not going to give you money. I'm not going to give you money to buy drugs. I can't do that. But how are you feeling? And he sat down and we chatted, and we spoke for only about 3 or 4 minutes, and I kept eye contact with him, and I shook his hand, and I said, dude, I'm really sorry, man, but I happen to know that there is an alternative, and I shared a little bit of my story with him, and I said, there is an alternative. You don't have to keep doing this. There are ways and means to get out of this. And I gave him the kind of names of a couple of agencies that might help him. He clearly wasn't interested, but he sat and he spoke to me, and I said, I'm really sorry, man. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope things get better for you. We shook hands, and he went off. And now I'm thinking, I should have bought him breakfast. I had half an hour. We were outside Burger King. I should have taken him in and got him something to eat and drink or something. And I didn't think of it. But like you with your mate, the act of sitting there and talking to him is enough, because most people will ignore him. I always make a point, if a beggar or someone says, you got any change as I walk by, I always make eye contact and say, I'm sorry mate, I've got no money, how you doing? Because you've got to treat these people like humans.
And it's quite refreshing for them. They do actually, most people wouldn't believe it, but they do actually genuinely appreciate just a bit of conversation from somebody in the street, because the way they see everybody is being just pushy and seeing them as dirt and stuff like that.
Oh, they're invisible. In London, the homeless people are invisible.
Yeah, definitely. I used to sit down with a guy outside. I used to, not long ago actually, I was getting trauma therapy, I used to come out of there and there was a guy, and I used to sit down with him and chat. And I never really saw him drinking or anything like that, but he'd been in the army, he'd hit a bit of thing. But what I'd noticed was people didn't really see him, and then I'd sit down, people would notice me sitting with him and look at me as if to say, what's going on here? And it used to disgust me, and he said it's because you're sitting with me, and that's exactly what it is. Do you know what I mean? And it was nuts. It was nuts. But and surprisingly enough, anybody who actually came over, there was a few people that came over and gave him some food that were clearly regulars and saw him on a regular. They were all very young.
Oh, that's good.
They were all very young.
That's heartening.
And they wasn't filming it for Facebook, which is even better. Do you know what I mean? Because that I can't. That's one of the worst ones. People filming them giving out stuff. I mean, it's good them giving out stuff, but they literally.
Is this a thing?
It's a thing. People, especially on Instagram, people are like, "Oh, today we're gonna go. I'm gonna go and give the homeless person 50 quid and film it." And it's one of the multiple ways people are trying to get likes, which is
that's
crazy.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think you're right. About the whole, with the whole concentration issue and getting caught up in things. I've had with me trying to get things done and not getting them done. Definitely, when I'm sitting there looking into nothing, Instagram, Facebook, all the messengers, the different messengers and this, that and the third, they just, I hate my phone. Like, I hate being contacted. I hate being allowed to be contacted at any time. And when I turn my phone off sometimes, people go nuts. Why is your phone off? I thought something was wrong. No,
I thought you topped yourself.
Yeah.
I bet they do. And they've got your best interests at heart. But it is that thing, if you can't get hold of someone immediately, why hasn't he replied to my text? I sent it 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, because it's normal. It's normal. I believe it's normal to not want to be contacted by people on a certain day. If you're not even if you're just having a bad day, you might just wake up and think, I don't want to be contactable by everybody today. I don't want to have texts flying in and this, that, and the third. I can't stand it, man. And it's more so since I've had a lot of stuff going on. Do you know what I mean? But I really don't.
Do you
really
think?
don't like my phone.
Do you think that your smartphone has got in the way of the grieving process? And let me clarify that a little bit, because I was kind of fortunate. No one really, big in my life died for the first 20 odd years of my life. But if someone died 20 years ago, you'd be surrounded by friends who'd comfort you, and maybe you'd have a mate stay over that night, but eventually they'd all go, and at some point you would be left on your own. But you wouldn't have had the smartphone, you wouldn't have had the emails, you wouldn't have had... You'd literally be on your own, and you could cry. And by the way, that cry you make when one of your parents dies, I was howling like a dog. Like a dog.
When it happened to me, it took me, the first time with my mum, it took until after her funeral to do it. And it was about a week after. And when it happened, it was like I pulled all the muscles in my stomach. Yeah. And it was good. Because I thought I wasn't going to, because I turned into robot mode to get everything done, you know. Of course, yeah. But, like, man... It really does come out. I had exactly the same with my brother. And you're so right with the smartphone situation, because with my brother, because of the circumstances and there was people there and stuff like that, the next day I woke up to over 92, I think it was 92 or 93 unread messages. And I actually asked the other half, I said, listen, can you do me a favour? Can you help me just reply?
Wow.
To these people, and just to say thanks, it really means a lot.
Isn't it interesting you felt the need to reply?
Yeah, but that's what made the phone get in the way.
Yeah. Sometimes, sometimes we need to sit in a room for a day, a week, a month, and just cry and not eat, and we need to go through that process.
It's true, and people do want to help.
Yeah,
people do want to help, but sometimes people can't. Like at the moment, I'm trying to get the stuff out of the house and move, right? So people are like, listen, I'll come round one day and we'll just sit down and we'll go through it all. And I'm like, well, no, it's fine, I'll sort it. Because what they don't realise is going through stuff where you're picking which is sentimental enough to take with you and which isn't.
Yeah.
You know, I spent the whole day today in a loft just going through vinyl, which is coming, which isn't. And I'm moving probably into a flat. So... you know, not a lot of it can come. Do you know what I mean? And you know, I'm having to work out other ways of doing stuff with the vinyl that can't. Do you know what I mean? And that's just vinyl.
When I moved my mum into a care home about 10 years ago, right? And I had to sell her house because she had to pay for the care, and I had to clear the house out. Yeah. And I didn't know where to. I was daunted by it, so daunted, clearing out a house that she's lived in for 20 odd years. And in the end, I got a team of blokes with a van, and they came round and they cleared everything out, everything, and they paid me, I don't know, 300 quid for all the furniture. So they cleared everything out. And that is my biggest regret, Jimmy, is that I didn't keep anything. I just thought, right, I'm going to be practical about this. Everything is going, man. I'm chucking it all out. And I got rid of everything.
It's hard. Don't you find it hard, though, because I started with not being able to get rid of anything.
Yeah.
And then I went into a mode of literally just almost zero emotion, kept chucking things because I knew I had to get the job done. And now I'm sort of in the middle. And I think what I'm going to do is find all the stuff I want to keep, box it up, put it to the side, make sure the house is ready. People can come see the house. Once the house is sold, do what you did, pay somebody to just come and take the rest of the stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
they paid me. They paid me because obviously there was a house clearance. So they bought all the furniture. I think I got 250 quid for everything that had ever been in my mum's house for the last 20 years, 25 years. Flipping it, man.
It's crazy how these things can get in the way, though, because like with me, I don't know how it was with you, but with me, this process of getting this done and getting that is like going to open up the door to a much better, like obviously when you pay for 3 funerals and take on the debt of 3 different people, you go from having money to not having money. You go from obviously everything has changed, and then you're going back to this house that you don't like, and this, that, and the third. But what is actually there is a house you can sell, buy a place in the countryside where you want to be clear debt and all of that. Like life is going to be much easier, like way easier and better. But this daunting task is just in the way, and it's crazy. But I feel like this is my test in life. You know what I mean, to get this job done. But I think I'm going to get it done. I'll get it done.
You will get it done. You will get it done.
I'll get it done.
You will,
without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Jimmy, you're a good man. I wish you the best of luck with it.
Nice one, man. Take it easy.
Give us a call any time, man.
Peace out, dude.
There we go. What a nice man. What a nice man. Matt, stay there. I'll come to you after this. You are listening to absolutely nothing.
The late night lip service for lovers, loners, and lounge lizards.
Well, where exactly is your accent from?
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
I've forgotten your name already, excuse me.
On Talk Radio.
I do like those new trails. Sharon in West Virginia, stay there because Matt has been waiting for an absolute age. Good evening, Matt.
Good evening, good morning. I don't want to keep Sharon in West Virginia waiting, so I'll try and clear off as quick as I can.
You take your time, man. Don't worry, no rush.
Well, I just wanted to talk about the idea of phones getting in the way of the grieving process.
Yes.
And actually, with me, I mean, it wasn't grieving so much, but it kind of was when my marriage fell apart.
Uh-oh.
And it turned out that the majority of my remaining friends were mutual friends who sided with the other half.
Hey.
Ones I'd lost touch with when we moved from London to the Peak District kind of were not contactable again. Actually, my phone saved my life. Getting in touch with people through Twitter and people who were prepared to have a phone call with me and talk to me about how I was feeling and how things were going to be fine and how I was going to get over it. They actually saved me. They actually stopped me from doing stuff that otherwise I might have done. Knowing there was not a physical, but a human contact out there through.
Were these people you were contacting on Twitter? Were they friends that you'd lost touch with, or were they kind of randoms?
No, they were completely random.
Really?
Yeah. All the friends that I'd had in London, a lot of them moved overseas because of the kind of the jobs we used to have, and they all kind of went off and did exciting things in other parts of the world, and I lost touch. A couple of them were just people that just kind of faded out of my life, but a lot of people just disappeared once my marriage dissolved because they were mutual friends. When I got married, when I got together with my then girlfriend, fiance, and then wife, we made a lot of mutual friends who then disappeared once our marriage dissolved, partly because I wasn't at all vocal about the circumstances around what had happened, and she was. And so there was a lot of, I was saying this information. One thing that has occurred to me since the whole thing went to tits, if I can say that, is that I thought it was all someone else's fault, and I wasn't to blame. But actually, I am not a very nice person, or I wasn't a very nice person, and because of the depression and the various other bits and pieces that were going on. And so it was fair enough that people disappeared, but actually, when I reached out on Twitter, not on Facebook because I can't stand Facebook, it's so smug, but people on
Facebook
Twitter
is very smug, yes.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, look at my marvellous life, my marvellous holidays, my marvellous house, can't bear it. But Twitter just there were a few people on there that just went, when I tweeted random stuff at night when I was feeling really low, a few people said, do you need to talk? And some people gave me their phone numbers, and I rang them, and we had long conversations, and, people who've been through similar stuff, people who haven't been through similar stuff, who could empathise, really reached out and actually pulled me back from the edge.
Oh, wow. Well, that's
so phones do work. Yeah, they are good.
Divorce.
I was going
to say quickly, because divorce is one of those things that we kind of throw it around. Oh, it's so easy to get divorced. Divorced. Did you hear such and such got divorced? Oh, my parents got divorced. It's a word that's bandied around. But when it's coming out of your mouth because that's what's happening to you. It's huge, isn't it? It's huge.
The thing with me was that my dad was
unfaithful to my mum, and I mean, serially unfaithful. He was a horrible, unfaithful, shag around.
Oh, my
kid.
dad too. Oh, welcome to the club. Good, yes.
No, it's horrible, isn't it? And so I kind of developed a persona that said that when and if I ever get married, it means you don't be unfaithful to people. You don't just sneak around behind people's backs. And anyway, it turned out that she had been. She's now gone off with another woman, actually, which is amazing to me. It's a real tick on my box of things to achieve in my life is to, to turn your wife into a lesbian. We try and be civil and we try and sort things out, and I want my kids to be happy. But for me, the divorce, it was not so much the loss of her, but the loss of the status of being married and of being a parent and being in a family. The loss of that status was the thing that really destroyed me. I mean, I couldn't bear it. I'm kind of over it now, kind of getting used to being on my own and single, and I don't want to have another relationship with anybody ever again. I'm quite kind of not resigned even. Resigned is a negative word. I'm kind of more positive about the idea of being on my own from now on. And I'm only 43, and I don't see myself ever having another serious or any kind of relationship with another person, male or female or whatever, ever again, because I just don't see the point.
That's a really sad position.
I don't think it is necessarily.
Do you not? Okay.
No, I don't think it is. I
could understand why someone would not want to get married again after going through the trauma of a divorce, but to not want to be in a relationship, that to me feels sad, but I'm keen to hear why you think it isn't.
Okay, well, a lot of the people I say my friends, I don't have that many friends now that they've all kind of disappeared off into the suck hole of the kind of the previous relationship vortex. But I have some left, and people that I used to work with and stuff, will say, no, don't think like that. You will find somebody. And actually, the idea of even trying to find somebody just makes me feel like, oh God, no. I've only,
Oh, Matt, you're breaking up.
Oh, sorry, am I there now?
That's it, yeah, go on.
Yeah. I've not been in serial relationships. I think I'm 43 and I've had 4 long-term relationships since I was 17, and that's it. So I haven't slept around, I haven't sown the seeds and all that sort of stuff, and I haven't ever wanted to. I don't see the appeal of that, and so the idea of trying to find somebody to be with just for the sake of being with them doesn't appeal at all. The idea of trying to find somebody and then having to...
it's a yellow... I'm giving you a yellow card. We dumped it. You had heard it on Periscope. Apologies, Periscopers, but I get what you're saying.
Sorry.
That's all right, don't worry.
I forget. It's so easy to talk to you, that's the thing.
No, thank you.
So I just, and maybe it will happen, maybe I'll find somebody, but I'm not going out there to look for anything like that. I'm never going to go out, I'm not going to join dating sites, I'm not going to look for stuff like that, I can't be bothered.
Tinder, it's not even dating sites now, it's swiping.
Oh man, I know.
Imagine.
Yeah, the idea of just dismissing somebody, a human being, because one thing they say doesn't quite match your expectations.
And also with Tinder, I've never seen Tinder, but I believe a picture comes up and you look at it and you swipe one way for no and one way to keep. But you imagine you're looking at them for less than a second. No. Maybe.
The other thing that really confuses and really perplexes me is that on Twitter, a lot of women complain that they get sent unsolicited pictures of men's penises.
Oh, dick pics. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, dick pics. Yeah, and I'm just trying to understand the mentality of a person that would send somebody a picture of their erect penis. What the hell is that all about?
Catherine, my producer, gets a flurry of dick pics from every now and then. Even if someone asked me, I think I'd struggle. But to send it just, on to take a punt. Imagine that's your chat-up line, is sending a random woman a picture of your penis.
the very idea that you would sit at home and decide, oh, I know what I'll do because I'm bored. I'll take a picture of my knob, and then if the opportunity arises, I'll send it to somebody on Twitter.
Yep.
Weird. The other thing is, I know I'm rambling on, so I'm boring you.
No, you're not boring in the slightest, mate. I'm fascinated, but go on.
Well, that's very kind of you, but to talk about the idea of doing nothing, of just stopping. Up until about May of this year, I worked in an office job for a big management consultancy, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it, and it was dreary, repetitive, boring, staffed, and fully, surrounded by people who were so only out for themselves and couldn't give a stuff about anybody else. And I had a bit of a nervous breakdown around about May of this year, and it was the second one I'd had while working with this company. The first time, to be honest, they'd been really cool, and they'd supported me and allowed me to go on sort of an extended medical leave. But the second time, it became a bit too much, and they basically said, look, this can't happen again. Off
This
you go.
can't happen again. Wow.
No.
It's like saying to someone who's had cancer before, you can't keep getting cancer. You've got to stop getting cancer.
No, precisely. So I resigned and said, look, I'm out. And, I was in I suppose, a fortunate position that I didn't have a wife at that point. The divorce had just gone through. Yes, I have children I have to support, but, I have a flat that I can live in. I don't have to pay rent or a mortgage at the moment, so I'm kind of okay. So I just thought, you know what, I'm done. And I've decided to go back into a thing I had a number of years ago when I first met my now ex-wife. I was a wedding photographer, and she didn't really see the value in that because it was sporadic income and not terribly reliable. But now that I'm free and I'm single and, I've got my place, I've gone back into it. And actually, the wedding photography is big but slow to move. So last week I went and took photographs of somebody's dog for £100 or so. And, it's there, the money and the motivation. If you don't need to earn a huge amount of money, and I don't see why anybody ever should need to earn a huge amount of money. If you can get by, if you can budget, if you can make sense of what you've got, then just don't do something that you hate. Don't do something that drags you down. Stop doing anything for a while, reevaluate, and have a look around.
Well, you're in a very fortunate position in that you haven't got rent or mortgage to pay. That's the killer, isn't it? That's the one. Matt, I hope it all works out for you, man. I've really enjoyed talking to you.
And you too. Thanks, Ian.
Thanks a lot for your time, Matt. Ta-ta. Sharon in West Virginia, stay there. We'll come back after this.
Tales of mystery and imagination on the radio show that does things differently.
Dolly Parton, I listen to a record all day long.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
I'm a nut job, but not that kind of nut job.
On Talk Radio.
Honest to God, it's the new Breaking Bad. Oh
no! That clip of Nigel singing about Dolly Parton made me laugh. Who's on Periscope? People on Periscope peculiar. Sharon in West Virginia. Good evening, Sharon.
Hi, Ian. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, Sharon. How are you?
I just put in a really long day. I'm an assistant kindergarten teacher at the second smallest public school in the state of West Virginia, and they kicked my butt.
Well, hang on a minute. So, what, did you say second grade?
Kindergarten.
Oh, so they're like, but they're kiddies. Oh, man alive! How many kids are you responsible for?
Would you believe 11?
Wow, that is insane in the membrane, because those guys is nuts.
It could always be worse, right?
You could have 12. I mean, that would make it worse.
That would be job security.
Yeah, I years about 8 years ago, when I kind of thought my time working in the business of show was up, I was going to become a primary school teacher, and I went on like an evening to be talks about men working as primary school teachers, and I went to a school for a couple of days, and I sat in, and primary school, so between 5 and 10 I could do. I couldn't do older than that, because I remember what I was like as a teenager. I was horrible. And I certainly couldn't do younger than that, because Well, you can't tell them to do anything. They're insane.
Well, my husband was a school bus driver for 34 and a half years, and he retired in Christmas of 2015. And I saw through him that the longer you stay with it, the easier it gets, because you start pulling in tools.
Yeah.
And you start collecting tools to put into your toolbox that you can always pull out, one of those tools for, like, whatever situation comes about. And it does make it easier. You just have to, the first 2 or 3 years you're going to suck. That's a given.
The first 3 or 4 years?
Well,
Oh, God. I find it exhausting having 2 kids of my own, looking after 11 kids that don't belong to me. So with mine, I can say, oh, you just stop messing around. Stop it. But you can't really do that when they're not yours. Anyway, why is someone in West Virginia, what is a kindergarten teacher in West Virginia doing, listening and calling this rubbish in the United Kingdom?
Well, first of all, I learned a lot from you, Ian. You and I, number one, we're both humongous Monkees fans.
There we go. She's a Monkey sister. Forget the rest of the show. I am speaking to one of the elite few who knows what music is good for them. Well, welcome, sister. Welcome.
Oh, and number two, my daughter will be 20 at the end of the year. Her birthday is on December 30th. So her name is Michaela. Guess who she's named after?
Michaela Strachan. Michael Nesmith.
She's named after Michael Nesmith.
Of course she is, because this is what I love, right? I'm, for those who don't know, I'm a huge Monkees fan, and I set up a record label, and I've been to conventions in America, and I love them, right? Here's the thing I've noticed, Sharon. You, American women, when it comes to your pop groups, you are insane. How many Monkees tattoos have you got?
How many what?
How many tattoos have you got?
Oh, none.
Oh, good.
I
Okay.
would never get a tattoo.
Okay, because I made a short film, which is on my YouTube channel, where I went and interviewed some Monkees fans, and the number of women, Sharon, that have got the Monkees logo on their back, or have got there was one lady who had the autograph. She got the Monkees to sign her leg, and then she had the autographs tattooed on her leg.
Yeah, I know that one.
Oh, do you? Well, they're all delightful fruitcakes, They're all wonderfully nuts.
Well, let me tell you, I would never get one of my own, but these ladies that go around with the cover of Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, and Jones Limited on their back,
yeah,
I'm insanely jealous of them, but that's just not me.
Yeah. Well, the Monkees are the greatest group that ever existed. If you don't believe that, then get out of here. I'm not interested in talking to you because you're a lunatic and you have no life. But here's the great thing, Sharon, and we're talking about, I've been kind of knocking social media and stuff, but, I have met so many kind people online. I've got friends now in America because of Twitter and Facebook. And when I came over to see some concerts in, oh God, I don't know, was it 2012, 2013? And I had so many people offering me their couch to sleep on. I had one woman, a lovely lady called Kim, she said, look, if you're going to be in America for this period, I've got I've got 2 tickets to go and see the Monkees at this theatre. And my husband was going to come with me, but if you want the ticket, I'll tell my husband not to come, and you can come with me. And I said, are you sure? She went, yeah, he won't mind. He gets dragged along to all this stuff. So in some theatre, sort of about an hour outside of New York, I met this woman, Kim, and I took her husband's ticket, and we sat and enjoyed a concert together. And it was wonderful.
Good for you.
Yeah, well, good for her. She was a very nice lady.
Well, good. Now, my mom is right here with me. She's staying with me because she has a brand new shoulder, and she cannot drive.
Wow.
She's about 2.5 weeks post-op, so she's staying with me. And actually, you know what? She is Frida Lingstad's birthday friend.
Say that again. I just missed that last bit. She's what?
She is Frida. You know Frida Lindstad from ABBA?
Yeah.
She's Frida's birthday twin.
Oh, okay. So she's not right. Okay, so she has exactly the same birthday as her.
Yes, except that Frida is 1 year older than my mother.
That's terrible. You can't go touting that as a fact. That's terrible. Hey, listen, here's the thing. Here's what she'll do, Sharon. I bet that shoulder's better already, and she'll for another 6 months. Oh, Sharon, can you take me to the store? I can't drive. Sharon, could you make me some food? I can't eat. Sharon, could you do this? She is gonna milk it, Sharon.
No, honestly, she would rather do it herself. Trust me on that one. She actually got this done in Hershey, Pennsylvania, where they used to make the chocolate bars, but now they're all made. So that's where she actually got the new shoulder. It's a teaching hospital. It's part of Pennsylvania State University.
Okay. Well, Sharon, listen, I'm going to let you go because the line is breaking up a little bit. But, keep in touch. Message me on Facebook, and lots of love to Mum, and I hope she gets better soon.
But before I let you go, I also want to thank you for the During the Summer. I enjoy it so much. You have no idea.
Oh, really? This is the little music show I did on Mixcloud, and I've kind of stopped doing it because I didn't know if anyone was really digging it. But I might do another one then.
You know what? I think it was episode 2. I'm not sure. It's been a while, but I think it was episode 2. You played a song by the group called Eclection.
Say that again. By the group who?
Eclection.
Oh, Eclection, man alive! Isn't that a great song?
Oh my God, I love it so much!
Get the album. They only did one album, and it's a bit hit and miss, but there's about 75% of it is genius. It's such a good album.
It sounds so fresh. And when was it recorded? Like 1968 or 69?
Something like that, and it sold about 7 copies, and it's just come out on CD, and it was recommended to me by another radio presenter, a guy called Danny Baker, and it's just brilliant. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, Sharon, listen, it's nice to talk to you.
Oh, and likewise, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I'm so excited. And this has been like, you have no idea how happy I am right now.
Oh, well, bless you. I'm very happy too, and lots of love to Mum, and I hope things get better for her soon.
All right, lots of love. Cheers from West Virginia.
Bye, Sharon.
Bye.
Bye. Isn't that nice? What nice calls we're getting this hour. Tonight's show's been delightful. Let's take Davey. Good evening, Davey. Davey? Hang on a second. Let's try it. Davey, are you there? Well, Davey's gone, man. Let's go to a break then.
Experience the unconventional.
Hello?
The unpredictable.
Don't you think that's a bit weird?
And the completely unorthodox.
It was my birthday.
With rule-free Iain Lee.
I was just trying to generate a bit of content.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
Hate alarm clocks. Hate going to work.
On Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000, although there's not much left of the show. This is definitely, if this were under the new regime, if this were next week, we would definitely keep the show going for another half an hour at the very, very least. But that doesn't start until next week, and we're going to do it once. I can't believe the bosses let me do it. Even when I suggested it to them, I thought, they're not going to... I wasn't even going to suggest it. I was kicking the idea around on Twitter, kind of hoping that the boss would see it and go, yeah, sure, we'll do that. And I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to email him and ask him. And as I was sending the email, I thought, this is the most stupid idea. Never going to happen. And he went, yeah, all right, we'll try it. We'll try it once and we see how we get on. Anyway, but that's for next week. Davey's back. Good evening, Davey.
Good evening, son. How are we doing?
And we're doing all right, mate. What you got for us?
No, I was just going to say to you, the show title lives up to its name, because you started off tonight with something completely diverse that nobody expected, and because the title of the show is The Alternative Show, away from everything that's happening in the news,
yep,
and you bring us a bit of humour and light relief, as somebody said earlier to you.
Light relief.
It's brilliant. It's what we all want. but the aspect of the show changed, and you brought people in with their own life situations. And do you know what? Every single one of us has got our own life situations, and I thought you were brilliant by going through that with them and having that diversity of the show, and that's what makes it so alternative.
Well, thank you, man. You're right, and it's true. We're all going through something.
Yeah.
How's life going? How's life going for you at the moment?
I'm not too bad. I'm actually doing okay. I mean, I've had a lot of stuff in the past with things with all sorts of things, Ian.
Yeah.
Different things, you know, all kinds of things. But then every man, every woman, they always have a story and they have a history, and everything's happened to somebody somewhere.
Yep.
And that's what it's all about. But I also like the fact, and this is why I do listen to your show, is that if somebody does phone up with a situation that's happening to them, and I know you give yourself a hard time about your past, but then that's an experience you've went through, whereby you're at a point of, if somebody asks you something, you've had the experience of having gone through that and come through the other side, so you can maybe advise, point them in the right direction, try and assist them, or whatever. Like you were saying about the wee guy that wanted £4 off you to go and buy the drugs.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah, recreationally, years and years ago, I'd done the same thing, not to the extent of heroin or anything, but going out night suit, you know, the uppers and what have you and that. And there is a sector of the public that if you admit that to them, they just look at you and go, junkie. And at that spectre of life years ago, you know what it's like? It was like the trend at the time. And I think you know what I mean by, like, the dance music clubs and things like that.
Yeah.
It was always on the go.
There's are you aware of the author Miranda Sawyer?
I think I've heard you speak of her previously.
Brilliant. She's brilliant. She's been on the show, and she writes for The Observer, and she's written a lot of big magazine articles and things sort of through the 90s and stuff. She wrote a book about 6 months ago called Out of Time, and she's about sort of my age, so sort of early 40s, mid 40s, and it's about her sort of talking about midlife crises and all of that stuff. One of the things, it's a brilliant book, but one of the things that makes the book so brilliant is she writes really openly about her use of recreational drugs. And I think she talks about weed and coke and ecstasy because she was in that party scene in the 90s, and she was there, and she doesn't have a drug problem. Or so she certainly says she doesn't have a drug problem, and she was one of those people, of which there are millions, who used chemicals to enhance having a good time. Now, I have to say, because I've been told of before, I'm not recommending drugs. I haven't had a drink or a drug for 13 years. I don't think people should take drugs, if they don't want to. But realistically, there'll be people now listening to this smoking something, or millions of people take drugs, and it was really good to read her book and to read someone being so open about it.
Well, I mean, Ian, it happens, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's as much as we try and shy away from it, there is a part of society that it is something that's there, and it does happen, But yeah, I think the way you bring it from humour, and then you can give people the benefit of your experiences, bringing things down, and I don't mean bring down the mood, I mean give them the experience of the nitty gritty of what actually it is. It's
thank you, man.
I mean, I'm the same as yourself.
Yeah.
Or even the author you've spoke about, and I wouldn't advise it to anybody now. No,
I had a bit of fun when I took drugs. But most of it was miserable. Most of it was miserable.
Oh yes.
And expensive. That money and that time and those relationships I threw away.
But it's not just that. It's great in the moment or on the night, and then it's the 2 or 3 days afterwards when you're not feeling the greatest. It's the second hand caper. It's
Yeah. Although towards the end, I wasn't getting a buzz off anything, and it wasn't. I was ending up in ever increasingly dangerous situations. It's a miracle I didn't get the shit kicked out of me at various points in my life.
No, well, I have experienced that once, and that wasn't great. So
it's not. I bet it's not great, is it?
It's not. Well, it's not the best. It's not the best.
Davey, look, man, we're coming.
No, I just wanted to say to you, very, very well done to yourself, Catherine, who's on holiday.
Hang on a minute. Don't congratulate her for going on holiday. What's that about?
Well, because she took the wee compliment I gave her by phoning up just before she went off about telling you that I wasn't
I'm not having that. I'm not having that. I'm not. You, Davey.
I'm the headphones man.
I know you're the headphones man, and I love you, but you can't. She's abandoned us for 2 weeks. No, she's dead to me until she comes back on Monday.
But Ian, what she's actually done is given some more of the backroom staff an opportunity to creep in the back door and see how good they are.
Well, you're right. You're right.
You've got Sam and you've got Cass and that in the backroom there.
They are doing excellent jobs when they're awake. Davey, listen, I've got to go. It's the end of the show, man. Thanks for calling.
Right. Thank you very much for your broadcasting, man. Keep it going, eh?
Thank you very much indeed. He's the headphones man. That's it. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Cass. Got Hayley tomorrow. Who knows? She'll be great. I've worked with Hayley before. She's really good. Thank you, callers. Well, there was a show. Isn't it interesting how much you can cram into a show when you're trying to do nothing? Yep. Back tonight at 10. Ta-ta.